Taking a point this evening, given you a 1-0 up, given you've missed a penalty, does that feel like an opportunity missed?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? You know that yourself, Dan. So I think the first half performance, again, was very, very good. Great to get Sean, back, obviously, and then, to score the quality goal that he scored. It was great. But, it's one of them for me. They were always going to get a little bit better second half. The manager was screaming about first, second contacts, that our lads won all over the pitch. And then, second half, they come at us a little bit in terms of that, but I thought we weathered the storm. I thought we got better, and I thought, the opportunity come at the right time in terms of them scoring their goal. Probably got to be a little bit stronger in the tackle. Lad finishes it, and then we get the opportunity of a penalty. And you want one of your strikers to take it. And Paddy steps up. I'll never knock anyone for taking penalties or holding their hand up to take a penalty. So, and the rest is history on that.
How frustrating is it? It's not quite a repeat of the weekend, obviously, because you've got a point, but to have that same pattern of do well in the first half and then a setback in the second.
Yeah, but it was always going to be a battling performance. I think we had better quality and showed better quality in the first half. I think second half they turned it into a bit of a battle. So they would ask you more questions with the first and second contacts, which we stood up to. So I think if you look at it, Isaac, he should score a goal when he's through, if you like, or comes on the angle and then it's straight to the keeper. And then I think an unbelievable cross from late on, and Paddy Madden's there with his head, and Tyler's got a tapping on the back post. So maybe a bit of communication there, but we should have took more out the game. Just
as far as a couple of personnel things, how's Alex Henderson to begin with? Because you've replaced him at half time. I think he was struggling with his groin.
Yeah, that's it, and he was. So you could see that he went down, got a little bit of treatment, but he just said it was a little bit stiff. So again, we just wanted to be a little bit, cautious with Endo. So that's why we took him off.
And Sean Worley, I know you don't like to single out individuals, but we saw within 15 minutes of his first start of the season the quality that he can bring you. Just how much of a difference does having him make?
Unbelievably, doesn't it? You've seen it straight away. You see it in the first 15 minutes, if you just said, Dan. But he's been out a long time, so you've got to manage them. So he didn't want to come off. He'd already said that the day before we were doing shape. I can do this, I can do that. I said no, we'll decide, Sean. At the end of the day, we know what you're like. If you want to take him off, he always wants to stay on the pitch no matter what. So, and to be fair, he was quite good today in terms of and saying okay and accepting that. So, but what he gives you on the pitch, he just gives you everything, doesn't he? He's got that quality in the final third.
How difficult when you have to make changes like that, whether it's the Henderson one that you didn't foresee or obviously Worley, you knew you were going to have to take him off. When you make that change, in terms of the person that comes on, the position that they normally play, the reshuffle that sometimes results, you had other options on the subs bench. What made you decide to go with Grant and Sass?
Because Connor's got a left foot. We played him as an 8, so he wasn't a 6. We had two sixes sitting in there anyway, with Coley and James Keneally. And then we were changing it with Freddie, bringing Freddie on to stop Norman's threat, because obviously Lynch was hitting diags onto him. That was their out ball all the time. So we dropped Isaac in there. Isaac he went across, and then Freddie dealt with him.
Is it difficult to get those messages across, or are these things pre-planned a lot of the time?
Well, it was pre-planned in terms of, I wouldn't say at half-time, soon as the physios come in and spoke to us about who was feeling this and that and the other. Seamus Keneally was the words I got was he was struggling slightly. So, we looked at that, and we looked at how we can shuffle it round. Obviously, we sat in here for a couple of minutes, and then that they were pre-planned. So that was that, and that's how the lads ended up going on the pitch.
You got Tyler Walton back on the pitch as well as a sub, I guess, for Sean Worley. Read the comments about Tyler Walton. How big is that to have him back on the pitch?
Another one massive. You've seen his impact. He's great in the air. He's athletic, and as I said before, it's great to have him back. But if he just communicates on that back post there, he's got a tap in on his return.
Didn't have Isaac Sinclair in the squad tonight. What's the situation with Isaac's availability?
He got stood on his toe, which got slightly infected. So obviously we just give him a complete rest, and hopefully he'll be right for the weekend.
It's another point on the tally, moves you a little bit, place up the table, I think. I guess do you have to try and take momentum from that? I know you've got the break for the FA Cup now. Yeah,
you've got to, Dan. You've got to. So any point, whether it's 3 or a point, you can analyse it and pick the bones out of it and all that, At the end of the day, it's like, I'm not going to be negative at all about it all. I know we were in the lead, and I know they've pegged us back, and I know we've got a penalty, we know we've missed a penalty. So at the end of the day, we've just got to keep working hard, keep sticking together, and it'll turn for us. We've just been speaking about that in there. So the lads are a bit better than they were Saturday. So that's for sure. So, you know, for all your efforts that we put in Saturday, we got knocked out the game. So today we've got one, possibly could have got 3.